Hey guys, it's Waifu Wars here with Beanley Coom, who just actually won his shop qualifier this weekend. This last week, Persona 5 released, and he actually built it on release.
Literally,
if you
2 days ago,
go through our channel, you should see the live stream of the entire case opening that Beanley and a friend Cody split. But he ended up building the deck and taking it to the shop qualifier and going X1 in the first 4 rounds, and then making top 4, and then winning the finals against Konosuba.
Yeah, so my matchups were Persona 5 mirror match. Second round was against Konosuba Darkness Waifu. Third round was against Fate Soul Rush Coin Flip, and fourth round was against Konosuba Good Stuff's Adventure deck. But it's a pretty long, boring day. But anyways, we'll just get to the decks. I run 4 of the Morgana runners. It's just your standard free runner. I think you should be just playing this because it generates plussing for you at level 0. And then Persona doesn't have easy plussing throughout the game, so you kind of have to work for your pluses. Then I run 4 copies of the Yusuke level 0. If he's in the middle slot, he gets 2,500 power in the level. So 4k in level 1 is kind of hard for some decks to get over. So during level 0, he pretty much stays there. And he fixes for your blue. This deck is mostly yellow-red, so I run 4 copies of him to get the early play out more consistently. I run 3 copies of the Ryuji. Pretty much he just bonds into your 1-0 event. That's pretty much your Junketsu event, your Akatsuki or whatever. And he's a 2,500, which is kind of relevant against some level 0s to get over things. And 3 is good enough where you can see him in games where you do need him. And 4 is usually the standard, but I like it at 3. And then I run 3 of the Brainstormers. It's top 2 Brainstormers, so your back row in P5 doesn't really clog, there's no contradiction. And then the 500 Act boost is relevant on either player's turn because you could use it after you brainstorm to get over things, or it makes your backups a bit stronger, which is relevant because it makes your 2k backups into 2,500, where you can distribute the 500 somewhere. This is your global 500 back row, and she also has ability you can pay 1 when you do a direct damage and it doesn't cancel, you can pay 1 to salvage 1 if they have a card in their memory face down. So it's another way to it's another access for Persona 5 to plus because besides triggering salvage triggers, this deck doesn't really have any way to access the waiting room. That's pretty much it for the level 0s. I run I think 17 level 0s. For level 1 it's actually pretty low, but that's because it's streamlined towards getting out the early play Joker. But we run 3 of the 1-0 Yusuke, 1-0 Ryuji. He's pretty much a LE/Taige clone, so he's just a 7k with the global 5, 7.5. 6.5. He's 7k, I mean, with the global 500. And then he's just a beater. There's nothing else you can really say. My level 1 is mostly yellow, so that's why I went with Ryuji. And then I ran 2 of the 2k costless back up. 2 is fine because 3 to me is too cloggy, and 1 you never see it. So 2 you at least see it in every game. And I also one of the pretty much just a Shimakaze Kai clone. It's just a TD protagonist where you can give pretty much, if you have a full field, you give a 2k pump to one of your characters. So it can be relevant if you want to get over a back row. Not a back row. If you want to get rid of a front row from your opponent. That's it for my level 1 lineup for my characters. And also run 4 of Advanced Notice. It helps you clear a lane on your opponent's field, and then it helps you get your plus with your salvage and then it does the whole milling with your deck, so you can go quick to refresh. So I like to play 1 at least in a turn. You have to be careful if you play multiple, because when you do bounce a character back to your opponent's field, you are generating a plus for them. So that's why I only choose to bounce 1 if I play multiple in a turn, because the option to bounce is it's not mandatory. And then for my level 2, this is technically level 1, but it's the 2-1 Joker. He only drops if you have 4 or more Phantom Thief trait characters, so that's pretty much, I never had a problem getting that off. then he combos with the win. It's on reverse, you draw a card, then you search for a level 1 or lower. So usually I search for the backup, the level 1 backup, or I can search for like a level 0 for my next turn if I need a color fix proceeding to the next level. 8K and 8.5 with the back row is good enough to get over most things at level 1. And I run 2 of the Yusuke. Honestly, this was the MVP of the deck because I got it out every game, and in the games that I did get it out, I noticed that like healing multiple turns and staying at level 2 is really important for English anyways, because there's not much ways to deal with it. And then the cost for him to change is pretty easy because on play he already pays for himself by getting the blind stock, and he also hand fixes for you. And then he returns back to your hand, so it enables you to always get that guaranteed heal one.
So you guys got a good turnout.
Yeah. And then I won one of the protagonist 2-1s.
I thought you were ducking.
I'm not you.
This is it gives 1K to all your 1K in front to your characters in front 1,000 times their level, and it gives your level 3 jokers the damage scry ability. The damage after you deal damage, you can when the opponent's character becomes reverse, you get to scry your deck, so it helps your joker dig 1 card deeper for the burn. And it also helps with the because I'm running level 3 and it makes her bigger, and it helps the Fox early play get big against other early drops that your opponent might be running. And I run one of the refresh counter. It's a 2,500 backup, and then paying 2 to force refresh. It came in handy. Like, it's just nice to have like in those situations where like you want to force refresh because you're already out climaxes. So my level 3 lineup, I run 4 of and level 3s. On play, she gains 2K power for the turn. She cantrips by drawing a card, and when she combos with her gate, on reverse you get to get a stock from your waiting. You get a character card from your waiting room, put into stock, and you can deal 1 damage. So it helps gain your stock for your joker, so you can get your burn off at the end of your turn, and you can also that 1 damage can come in clutch to like bait out climaxes as well. And she's big enough to get over things on your opponent's field to help fulfill the joker burn as well. And even if you don't draw into her climax, she's still just a 12K beater, which is nice for your turn. And I run 2 of the level 3 jokers. He's pretty much always going to be an 11K healer. And the burn, I didn't have a problem getting the reversing my opponent's field, but the burn isn't always consistent, so it's good that you don't have to like keep it in the front row. You can be in the back row to get the burn off. But at best, he's just an 11K healer. Like, you don't have to use the burn. But when you do get the burn off, it's nice. And then I run 2 of the I run 2 of the Yusuke level 3s and that early drops. Being able to heal again is always nice, and then giving 4K on your opponent's turn at the beginning of their turn is pretty relevant, because sometimes you don't want to give the 4K to him if your opponent has like a anti-change level 2 card, like a level 2 bomb. You can just give it to like one of your level 1 characters, and they become like it makes your field stay longer. So I just run 4 gates and then 4 run triggers. And the deck is pretty straightforward. For 0 to 2, like your level, your field game is pretty like easy to like dictate. But I think the hardest matchup for sure is ALT. But luckily I didn't go up against ALT. And I think I'll still be testing this deck out more for Spring Festival, because I'm not sure if I exactly like this build yet. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so how did you ever get into a situation where your 3-2 early play flocks got like reversed or anything? Like, what was your action like afterwards, like kind of recover?
The times I did get reversed was against Konosuba, like the 2 decks, because Konosuba can early drop their darkness, or they can play the 2-1 Eris bottom deck bomb, and you kind of just like have to deal with it. Like, at least with like Yusuke, the 2-1 Yusuke, you can like change into it, I guess, if you like mill it or brainstorm it out or like advance notice it. So that's not too bad. against those matchups. But yeah, you just at that point, like, you should have like a knowledge of like your matchup, like don't give the 4K to just use K, just give it to like another of your characters, so he at least retains some value. And I never had a problem with getting his heal off, because he is resource intensive, because you do have to pay one and ditch a Phantom Thief character. But since I'm running gates, then he kind of pays out for it, because I usually tag with him last. So if I trigger a gate on like my second attack, then I can like get a character for his heal and like pay out the gate, which is nice. But, yeah.
Do you want to clarify on the Pro Tag's level 3 burn? Like, 'cause
So-
I know you didn't. I know it came up and you didn't know it.
So to get the burn off, all your opponent's characters have to either be reversed or they have to have an empty lanes, and you have to pay 3 and ditch 1. Pay 3 stock and ditch 1 Phantom Thief trade character, and then you mill 3 cards basically. Then they go to the bottom of your deck, and then you burn for that cards level. And it also counts for advance notice, which I learned on Saturday. So
Yeah, so it's not characters only. It's also level events and stuff like that
yeah,
count.
so advance notice comes in clutch actually for 1 if you want to just go for 1, and like if you can be a sack like me and hit for 3 or 2.
Goddamn sacks, man. All right, Beanley. Well, I guess that's it. Anything you want
P5
to say?
sucks in English.
It definitely sucks, right?
Yeah, it's been delayed for too long.
Oh my god. Well, at least it came out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, remember to like, share, and
Comment to Waifu Wars.
comment to Waifu Wars or whatever. Definitely better than TTT. All right. See you guys.